My bang today, sour heads. I like this one. A lot of people don't love this sour, but I really do. Just gonna wait a few minutes for some people to pop in. Just got a private message from someone. Do I have this on silent? I hope so. There we go. All right. Sorry, everyone. I know I'm running late today. Oh my heck. I stayed up pretty late last night and didn't get up till pretty late this morning. So that would be why. I fully admit it. But yeah, if you're here, go ahead and say hello. I'm going to say hello to all of you. Living the good life. Hello, ADH Snuggles. Angela. Hello. Bittersweet. Hello. Tammy Wilson. Thank you. Charlotte today. Hi. Good morning. Keto Maniacs. Good to see you. And Lori in Texas. Hello. Terry Williams from South Carolina. I'm jealous of your weather. It's so cold still here. KT. Hello. Jennifer Angus. Hello. Gina. Hello. Hey, how you doing? Great, you guys. I'm waiting for one more. Oh, Keto Cricket. Hey, Tammy. How you doing? You think I would look good with a side bang? I don't have enough, what's the word? I don't even know what the word is. Patience to have to do my hair. This is about as done as I can stand, but I don't know. I could probably get away with it. But I dance and I have to be able to pull my hair back. So that's why I don't do a bang. Let's see. Oh, Karen Rothwell is here. Our ever-present chopper moderator. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. You just never know. Julie C., hello. Thank you. Joanna Tucker, welcome. I look pale. I don't know. I think it might be my light. I'm really close to it. I don't know. I'm feeling good. So, other than tired, I did actually, if you see my lip is swollen right there. I dropped my cell phone on my face this morning. You know, I have glasses and I can't see, and I overslept and I was wondering what time it was, and I reached over to grab my phone to like lift it up and kind of see what time it was, and it slipped out of my hands and just like chunked my face, and I was bleeding, and I was like, really? Awesome. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Angela, this is your 5th week on keto. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. That's awesome. Let's see. Juanita Barnes, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right. I'm waiting for Lori Keto to show up. That's who I'm kind of looking for. I don't see her here yet. She messaged me privately, and I don't think I can get to that message to ask her where she is. But when she gets back on here, maybe I will talk to her. Yeah, I think it's the light. I don't know. Maybe I can turn it. Maybe it would be better. Is that better? It's overexposing me for some reason, which is not fun. I want it to make me look good, not weird. That's a little better. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Lori Keto, even though I don't see her here yet, just because I want to do this before I get into my subject matter. I don't know if you guys remember Lori Keto, but about 7 months ago, she was very active here on YouTube. She helped on my Facebook page doing some like digging into the emotions of weight loss kind of thing. And she kind of took a break from YouTube because she was working on her writing. She was published this last December, or actually it was before December, but it was this last fall. Right around the time I was in the magazine, the First for Women magazine, she was published in Chicken Soup for the Soul Christmas edition. And so she was really caught up in that, and she kind of let YouTube fall by the wayside, and she lost her password, and she couldn't figure out how to get back in. But I have great news for you guys. Lori Keto is back, and I think her channel is still Lori Keto, but it's a different one. So if you're subscribed to her other channel, you may need to find that one. When she gets on here, I'm going to have her link it. you can click on her little face if you want and subscribe to her channel. She has actually got some great news about her weight loss journey that she wants to share with everybody. So I wanted to go ahead and give her a shout out because she's a great friend of mine and I love her. And you guys should all go support her because I think she only had 65 subscribers on that channel last I checked, and she could really use a lot more. So Lori Keto, hopefully she's going to show up soon. She said, "Oh, there you are. See, I'm talking about you." And I was telling everybody to come see your channel already. I didn't forget. So Lori Keto, if you click on her face, it should take you to your channel. Go and subscribe and then come back. Okay, guys? Because she's awesome and I love her. And Lori, don't forget, after we finish this chat, come back to it after it posts as a regular video and make sure you add your link in there. And I'll try to remember to put it in the description. But come on, comment. And maybe I'll just pin your comment to the top to make sure that they can find you, the people who watch it later. All right. So that was my shout out for Lori Keto. I'm not going to answer your questions right now. I can see a lot of you asking questions, but I did want to talk about the subject because a lot of people ask me this question a lot. People often, the first thing they do is when they find out I lost a lot of weight, they ask me, "How do you feel?" Or "Doesn't it feel so good?" Or like, "Don't you feel so much better?" I don't know. And for some reason, that question, "How do I feel?" always irks me because really your weight, what you look like and how many pounds is on your body doesn't always necessarily affect the way you feel. It does, but like people assume because you lost weight that you feel better. And that may or may not be the case. So I wanted to talk about basically how my life has changed physically, emotionally, mentally, for the good and the bad. There's not as much bad though as good, of course, because hello, it's awesome. So I wanted to talk about that because I don't know. I mean, it's hard when you're first starting out on a journey to imagine what it might be like. And maybe you have some fantasies of what it might be like that may not actually come to fruition and that kind of thing. So I thought it might be a fun chat that we could have. So I'll spend a few minutes doing that and then we can answer questions. And I will promise to go back and check out everybody's questions from the beginning. So I won't miss anyone. Okay. So physically, how has my life changed physically? I can imagine that you guys can imagine that it's the most dramatic change probably is what I'm capable of doing physically or how I feel like physically in my personal body. So one of the main things that has changed physically, of course, is that I can pretty much do anything I want. I don't think I ever realized, because there was a lot of years I was over 300 pounds and I felt very good and I was happy and it worked for me and I was okay with it. I don't think I realized until I got so much smaller the limitations that I actually did have, even when I was young and felt very active and felt very, capable. I don't know that I realized the limitations that really were affecting me at the 300-pound mark or higher, maybe even 275 or higher. I can pretty much do anything I put my mind to at this point. Now, I'm not like saying that because I lost all this weight, I can just go out and run a marathon without actually practicing or working up to it. That's not what I'm saying, because that's not what I would do. I never would desire to run a marathon. Like, never in a million years. So not my thing. But if I feel like I want to run really quickly to get to something, or jog around the corner or run across the street to get the mail or whatever, I don't think about it anymore. I just do it. Whereas in the past, I think I would have had to have a whole conversation with myself about how important was it for me to go get the mail? How important was it for me to get it quickly? I probably would never have occurred to me to jog or run. I would have just moseyed along over and picked it up and ran back over. Running up and down the stairs has become second nature. I always run. I would never have run before. In fact, at my highest weight, I could barely make it up the stairs. I would be out of breath and huffing and puffing by the time I got to the top, and I had to go very slowly. At 300 pounds when I was younger, I could have walked fine up the stairs, no problem. Maybe I would have felt a little out of breath, but not really. But now I run and I don't even think about it. It's just what I do. I'm in a hurry. I want to go quickly, run down, run up. Don't feel any effects whatsoever. I would probably have to run up and down the stairs, 10 to 15 times before I started feeling any kind of tension in my chest, which is great. Not that I would ever do that because I don't run stairs. But if I did, I think I could do it a few times. So physically, I'm just more capable. I can do a lot more. Someone mentioned in my cleaning video on hide and seek, I just did the earthquake video on hide and seek is actually a cleaning video. It's kind of a clickbait title. I did talk about the earthquake, but it's actually a cleaning video and it's a deep clean and it's scary. And I put the two together because they were on the same day and because it literally looked like an earthquake had hit my dining room and it was bad. And I showed it all. But one thing that people commented on is watching me bend over and pick up things and sweep the floor and go around and do that. I mean, I cleaned for a solid hour and I showed pretty much all of it in like a little 10-minute quick sped up span. And didn't ever feel any like difficulties doing that. I just do it and don't think about it. In fact, I hadn't thought about it at all until someone said something in the comments and I went, oh yeah, that is pretty cool that I can just bend over and pick things up and that I can sweep the floor really easily and that I can reach really high and jump on chairs or whatever I did. I mean, I don't even think about it. Yesterday I climbed up on a chair to put something and back up on the wall and I did think to myself, wow, I never in a million years would have gotten on this rickety chair even 50 pounds ago. Like even now it's changing even more the more weight I lose. Doing things is better. I fit places better, like physically, like I feel small. I am not suffering from body dysmorphia at all. In fact, I probably err on the other side where I think I'm thinner than I actually am. And sometimes I see pictures or videos and I go, oh, I still have quite a bit of thighs and booty there and belly. Oh, I'm not looking as good as I thought I was. I feel like I look really great. And so I'm pretty happy with how I look. And I love how I fit in small spaces. One thing I noticed the other day, I actually went to a fireside kind of meeting with my daughter Ronnie, who is 17. And normally, like when I was bigger, I would always try and make sure that I chose a space on the bench. Because, like in the church, they're all one bench, okay, a pew. And I would choose a space on the bench on the end. And then I would make sure that there was like a good space between me and the person that I was sitting next to. I would never sit in the middle. And I would never like want to take up people's personal space. And so I would never want to touch someone because I always felt like I was so wide that if I would touch them, I would feel like the reason I was touching them was because I was too big for my space and I was taking up theirs. And so I always would look for a specific type of seat. And I noticed that this time I sought out a center seat on purpose, near people on purpose. And I sat touching my daughter on purpose because I felt small and I knew I wasn't taking up her personal space. I knew that we were in each other's personal space because we wanted to sit close to each other because we love each other, not because I felt like I was so big that I was encroaching on her space. And that was huge for me when I realized that I no longer felt like I took up somebody else's personal bubble. That is a joy and it's so freeing. Physically, the cons, there's not very many cons for me. I would say, of course, everyone's gonna assume and know that the loose skin is a con. But is the loose skin worse than the full fat skin? No. I have to tuck and roll a lot, and I definitely have a lot of loose skin on my belly. Still have some fat. And so I'm kind of self-conscious about it now that the rest of me is small because I feel like my belly just is like, bing, bing, bing. Nobody really cares. But you know how you are. You're like a little self-conscious about things. But I have been able to find high-rise pants, high-waist pants are really in right now. And now I can fit in every size, like every style. In fact, what's really funny is when I find something that I really like, but I realize that it doesn't come small enough for me. That one is eye-opening. When I realize I can't buy the certain thing I like when I see it when I walk past because it's too big and it doesn't come in my size. That's like mind blowing. Like absolutely mind blowing. And when I can walk down Walmart, like for instance, okay, I have on a cami under here. I bought it at Walmart. No, yes, I bought it at Walmart the other day for $2 because all of my camis are size 14s because that's the only sizes I could find. It was the smallest cami I could find at Walmart for a really long time. And I just happened across some small ones and I went, ooh, I'm going to grab some. And at first I reached for the larges and I thought, no, I bet I could probably fit in mediums because I've been fitting in medium most things. And they looked kind of short. And so I thought maybe it would be too short because of my bust line. But I picked up a medium and a large. Today I put on the medium and it's long. And I was blown away. And I was like, oh no, the large is not going to fit me. It is going to be way too big. And that was just kind of like one of those weird mind things that you're like, whoa, that is crazy. I can just go in Walmart and if I pick up a medium anything, like pretty much it's going to fit. Weird. And then it got me wondering, what if I had gotten a small? My daughter wears a small. Now, my daughter wears an extra small, but they don't make it in most things. My poor daughter, it's really difficult to find clothes for her because she is tiny. She is like 99 pounds and 5 foot tall. So she's a tiny little compact person. And so the child size 10, 12 is too small, but the child size 14, 16 is mostly too big, except for in the bust line, it's always too small. And if you go into the ladies section, the adult smalls fit her, but they're mostly too long and mostly too big. But she wears mostly smalls because that's what's easy to find. And I thought, oh my gosh, what if I bought a small and it fit me? It would be crazy. Also, today on Hide and Seek, I will be posting a video this afternoon. I didn't get it up this morning because I slept too long, but I worked on it all last night. It is a long video. It's like 36 minutes, but you guys should watch it because it's awesome. Me and my daughter did a sit down and talked about her adoption story. From my perspective, mostly because I talk a lot and she's not as much of a talker. And then from her perspective, and I just was blown away the whole time looking at us sitting next to each other here on the bed and realizing I don't look huge next to my tiny, tiny daughter. That was awesome. Like I felt like I looked really nice compared to her. Like I don't feel like I looked overly huge. It was crazy. And I'm like, wow. Stuff like that just makes me just kind of, my mind just goes, Wah. So I'm trying to think if there's any more physical cons. People have talked to me like there's going to be bad things happening to your body because of keto. Not yet. I don't buy it. All my blood work came back normal. My heart rate has gone down. So like my resting heart rate has gone down. My resting heart rate's like 50 now. 50! Nice. I mean, my heart is not having to work as hard to care for my body anymore. My blood pressure, of course, has gone way down. It was 175/95 most days when I began my journey, and now it's very normal most days. Some days it gets a little on the higher side, but mostly it's very low. Even with the sodium supplementation, which people are always saying that, and I'm like, it's never raised my blood pressure, ever. Not once. Not even at the beginning when it was really high. I don't know. Like, I just don't have any other things except the loose skin that may be a con. Maybe people... No, that's more mental. Nope, can't think of any. Sorry, guys. I mean, my pits are harder to shave because they're more concave. Is that a thing? I guess shaving. Yeah, that's harder because of the loose skin. So it's another loose skin thing. I have to like kind of pull my skin taut to get a good shave on my thighs and things like that because I have a lot of loose skin on my inner thighs and on my arms. And so it's a little bit more complicated to shave everything. But I can see to shave everything now. It was like a crapshoot before. It was like hit or miss. Now I can see everything, and I know if I got all of it. You know what I mean? So that's either way, it doesn't really bother me that much. For keto, I haven't had any trouble with keto breath or body odor or weird things like that. Some people do. I have never had that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could talk about physically. Maybe the only thing is kind of just goes over into the mental, and you notice more things about you when your fat is no longer your main thing that bothers you. You start to notice other things. So like my crooked teeth, now getting the braces. I started really noticing my crooked teeth when I would talk to you guys, and it started bugging me. And so when the dentist suggested getting braces for another issue, which by the way, that has made that worse. The grinding, way worse. Way worse. Which is frustrating. But when the dentist suggested it, I was quick to jump on it this time. Whereas always in the past, I was like, my teeth are awesome. I don't care. Like, because my weight was my main thing, once the weight was taken away, I noticed other things about myself that maybe I want to change or improve. I noticed my wrinkles more. I started using my masks more and skin cream and exfoliating. You know what I mean? Like, I started paying in more attention, which is probably a good thing. I wore makeup more because I liked the way I looked in makeup. Whereas before, I just felt like I looked fake, like I was putting on a face to try and cover up my fat, which makes me really sad because I still look pretty. I've always been pretty, and that's just sad to me that I really felt like I couldn't wear makeup because it made me look fake, like I was trying to pretend like I was pretty. That's sad. I was still pretty, and I should have worn makeup because I wanted to. I've noticed that I just love it more. I love makeup more than I did before. I wear it way more often, and that's a lot to do with YouTube probably too. But I just have more fun with it now, and I enjoy it more. I've always loved it. I put it on my kids all the time. Are you kidding me? That's half the reason I love being a dance mom is the hair and makeup part. Yay! I love that part. All right, so mentally and emotionally has probably been the biggest and yet not biggest changes. So let's start with my clinical depression, okay? I say clinical depression because I have self-diagnosed. I have never actually had a doctor diagnose me because I've never actually talked to a doctor about it and when I was in a bad place. I should have, but I didn't. I have struggled with depression my whole entire life that I remember from about age 10. I didn't know that's what I was struggling with. I thought I was just crazy, and so did my parents. They just thought I was out of control and over dramatic and all these other things, and none of us realized that I was suffering from depression. And I have had major depression. We're talking like I can't move out of my bed depression a lot over my life. My husband would just stick by me while I had that issue, but he probably should have taken me to a hospital. That's how bad it was, but he didn't because he just loves me. And he didn't want me to be sad, and he didn't want to hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes they love you too much. Enabler much? Yeah, he was my enabler. So I love him, and I'm kind of glad maybe, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. You mean the past is the past. So my worst depression was not when I was 374 pounds, but it was pretty dang close. I was about as bad off as I get. And I was looking into surgeries. I felt like I wanted to run away from my body. I would imagine clawing my way out of my body. I would picture myself grabbing it with nails and pulling it off me and trying to get out of my body. Like, that's how much I hated how my body was making me feel. It was I was claustrophobic. I felt like I was being suffocated. It was really scary. And that was probably the most anxiety I've had over my actual body. It had gotten to the point where I was afraid of myself and I wanted to get out. I don't think I was suicidal, but that's just because I have 9 children and I would never ever do that to them. Never. Or Dave. Dave never would deserve that. So it didn't matter how much I had to suffer. I would never think of committing suicide, but I feel like my wanting to escape was a similar sensation of that. Wanting to run away, wanting to get out, wanting to just escape. So I was feeling like that when I started keto, but I have to say, within 2 weeks of starting keto, all of those feelings were basically gone. And that was in January, which we all know is a hard month for me. If you've been around here very long, you will know that January is killer on my emotions. I still suffer. So for that to be like such a dramatic change was probably the number one thing that told me I was never going off of keto, because I never wanted to feel that desperate and that sad ever, ever, ever again. Now, has keto 100% cured my depression? Well, no. As we know from last couple of months, it still hits and it's still a struggle. But when it does hit, it is not as hard to handle. It isn't as devastating. It isn't as low. I don't sink so low that I can't function. I just feel bad and I cry and I just feel miserable and I know I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. I literally have no reason to not be happy. And yet I'm not happy. And so that's how I know it's depression, because there's no amount of losing weight that's going to fix that. I feel better? Yes, I feel prettier. I feel happier that I can do things and I am doing things more with my kids and I'm more active and I'm having more fun. But the long and short of it is that losing the weight cannot fix my mental issues. I've had to address them all the way along the line. Beginning then, when I realized that my diet may have been contributing to my bad feelings. Whoa, that was new. And I'm like, why is that new to me? All my kids have food allergies and have issues with them emotionally. My own son, which is how I found out I have depression, was diagnosed with clinical depression when he was 12 to 13 years old. And we discovered that wheat was the trigger. Why have I never considered that it was a trigger for me? Because I never admitted that I had depression until he was diagnosed. So there's all these things that, come into play, but losing weight itself has not fixed me. It hasn't made my life better. It hasn't made anything change inside. The only thing that has made things change inside is me. And as you will notice, as you begin to shed the weight and you let go of your crutch of food that makes you feel better, you have to come up against some demons. And it's how you deal with that and how you deal with finding new ways to handle your demons is how you will be successful or not be successful at losing weight. Because for me, for a lot of years, my weight was my protection. It's my way I kept people at a distance. It's my way I made excuses for not doing the things that I wanted to do that I was too afraid to try. I used it. It was my security blanket, literally, forever. And now I don't have it anymore. I have to have a new way to handle things. I have to have a new list of things that make me feel better when I have depression. I have to look at my depression from the outside in. And when it hits, I have to tell myself, you are having a depressive episode. What are you going to do about it? You can't just lay in bed and cry, even though that's what you want to do. So what are you going to do about it? And I have my list of things that I try, talking to a friend always helps me, talking to you guys, taking a bath, taking care of myself, waxing my face, doing face masks. I don't really paint my nails, but that would be a good one if you do, if you like that kind of thing. Body care can be very self-caring. It can really show yourself that you care about yourself and that you're treating yourself kindly when you know you're suffering from a depressive episode. Making yourself still get out and do the things that you have to do and that your family expects you to do, even when you're crying your eyes out the whole time. Like making yourself get out of the house. All of those things, you have them in a list, mental or written down. Written down is better, and you just go through the list. Okay, I know I'm having depression day. What am I going to do about it? Which one of these things am I going to try today? And none of them should be food. If you feel like you've tried all of those things, I have come up with ways, because I find that I'm very orally fixated. It's probably why I really liked gummy candies a lot, because you can bite on them. And I find myself grinding my teeth a lot, which is really, really irritating. I don't like doing it, and I can't stop myself from doing it. So I do chew a lot of gum because it releases the pressure off my jaw and makes it so that I'm getting that same feeling. So if I'm getting to the point where nothing is going to work except an oral fixation, I will chew gum. I have so much gum in my purse. It's Trident. That's what I use. It's got xylitol. My kids made fun of me last night because my son was looking through my purse, my 20-year-old. He was looking through my purse for something, nail clippers or something. He cut his thumb open and he was going to clip the skin on the side. And he's laughing at me because he's like, you have so much gum in your purse, Mom. You have like 10 packs of gum. And I'm like, yes, I do have 10 packs of gum because those are my emergency supplies and kids are always eating it. Everyone's always asking me for gum because they know I have it. And so I always have to have a ton of it. So I know it's there for me if I need it. So, that kind of thing. can be helpful if oral fixation is the only thing. Sugar-free Jello is a good one for that too, but I try not to do that as much as I can. So the good and the bad is that, yeah, I feel prettier. I feel less inhibited. I feel like I can do more things because I don't feel self-conscious about what I look like or whether I'll be able to do it. I'm a little bit more brave. I'm fighting through my anxiety more. I am more positive self-talk. So like when I'm talking to my kids and my kids are frustrated with how overly emotional I am, I always say, like, now I'm saying, instead of apologizing for myself or going in my room and shutting the door and feeling all depressed, instead I'm like, aren't you guys so excited that you have such a passionate mom? I am awesome. You guys should be happy. Like, I am more that way. And I really think that's just me, but it can come out because I don't feel like I'm hiding anymore. And I feel like I can just be me. Because when I was big and I was me and I was emotional and I was expressive, it was too much. There was too much of me already. And when I was in people's faces, too much. I could see it all over their faces. They were just like, crazy woman, crazy person. Now I can be a lot more animated, and I don't feel like I'm in people's way or in people's faces or it's overly too much. And if it is overly too much, I'm always positive about it. I'm like, isn't it awesome that I'm so excited about this? Or isn't it awesome that I'm so excited and loving you so much that I'm so wanting you to do this thing? I'm much more like pushing them and like trying to get them to do stuff more that now that I'm doing more things. Whereas before I kind of would let them just do whatever and let things slide because I was tired and I didn't feel like getting, because there was a lot of times where it was just hard to get out of bed and it was so much work physically, emotionally, mentally, just to get out of bed. And now I don't even think about that anymore. Like, I just pop out of bed. Like, I'm still tired sometimes, but I don't feel like my body is making me tired. It's just because I chose to stay up late working on videos or whatever. The kid woke up a million times a night or, that kind of thing. So, is there anything else I can think of? I'm trying to think. I don't know if I should talk about it. Has my love life improved? I know people are probably interested in that. Has it improved? In a lot of ways, physically, of course. I'm sure you can imagine things have improved. Oh, it's hard to talk about this without getting graphic. I don't want to get graphic. Let's just say, though, that it's harder to hold back. And so I feel sometimes a little bit overstimulated because there's not as much protection. Is that too much? Sorry, guys. But yeah, so it's a lot. It's complicated that way. Of course, Dave thinks it's awesome. He likes to grab my skinny waist and stuff. But the problem is it grabs me really hard. And because, I don't know, it hurts more because I have nothing to like protect myself. And I'm like, oh, don't squeeze me so hard. It hurts. So there's that kind of thing. Libido wise, has it improved? No. Sadly, no. I've always suffered from low libido, and I still suffer from low libido. So that's a bummer. I really actually thought that losing weight would improve that, and it has not improved it. If anything, it's just as difficult. It's just as difficult. I still have to play mental and emotional games with myself to get to the place where I feel like I can participate, which sucks a lot. I don't love that. But I still fight that battle a lot because Dave needs me, and I know that, and he deserves a person who loves him back the way he needs to be. So sorry to disappoint you. If you were hoping that your libido might increase, I don't know that really that losing weight affects it, unless the fact that you are overweight is what's causing you to have the low libido. Whereas for me, I've just always had that. I think it's genetic. I'm not a touchy-feely person. I don't like kissing. I don't like hugging. When I had babies, I think I liked babies so much. That's probably why I had so many of them, because it was the only time I ever actually had a desire to be cuddly. was when I had a baby. And I actually liked that I had like overcome my issues for one person on the planet. You know what I mean? And so I think maybe that was part of the reason I had so many babies. I had 9. Well, one of them is adopted, but I still cuddle her. Well, I try. I am not the best cuddler. I have to remind myself to do it. It's one of those things that I have to tell myself to do still, even after losing the weight. And I'm not as cuddly. My kids have complained. I'm bony. I'm not as cuddly. Before, they could just really squinch into my chubbiness and really feel comforted. And now they don't feel like I'm as comforting when they put their arms around me or whatever. And I feel bad about that because I understand that feeling. You know, mamas should be chubs. Mamas should be squeezy. And I have noticed that they squeeze this because my loose skin is my most squeezy spot. So Jasper will just sit and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and it drives me bonkers. Drives me bonkers. I'm always like, please don't squeeze the parts of me I want to forget. Because it brings them to my mind. Oh yeah, I have all that skin there. I can't wear short sleeve shirts. You know what I mean? Like, I really can't make myself wear short sleeve shirts anymore. I did at first when I lost a lot of the weight, but I just can't do it now. I have to wear all long sleeve shirts. I just feel like it's too much exposure. Too much exposure. So, all right, that's it. That's all I can think of. If you guys have any questions about that you want me to answer, of course, put them in there. We have about 24, 25 minutes or so, maybe a little longer, depending on how things go here, to talk about questions. So I'm going to go back up to the top of the chat, start with the first questions, and come on down. I will try and meet them and get to the end as much as I can. Usually I make it, so don't panic. If you're really got a burning question that you need me to see right away, do a super chat, donate a couple of bucks. It'll pop it up in front of me and I will see it right away and I will address it as soon as I'm done addressing the current question. All right, so let's get started on the questions. Going back up to the top. Okay. Everybody's like, you're looking so good. Thank you. I'm worried because I'm like, if I get to my goal weight, am I going to be too thin in the face? Are people going to say, you look gaunt? I feel like I look pretty still. I don't feel like I look gaunt. I don't want to look gaunt, but I want my belly to go away. It's driving me crazy. Let's see. Gotta love it. Bittersweet is asking, should I do an elliptical workout before work or after? I have no idea. I would never do an elliptical workout. From what I've learned from people who do work out, the best optimal time that they prefer to work out is early in the morning fasted. They make sure that they use a lot of electrolytes, so they take a dose of Sole water or some kind of sodium supplement before they begin the workout. Have one in a Ketorade that they sip on during the workout, and then make sure to top it up with a little bit more sodium after a workout. Because you will excrete a lot of sodium when you're sweating, you need to keep replenishing it or your muscles will kind of crap out and die, and you're going to feel really, really tired. So I guess I'll answer before work because that's just from what people that do exercise tell me that's their favorite time. I don't know if it's the optimal time because I don't exercise. The only exercise I do is my dance, and I do that in the evenings. I don't have a lot of energy in the evenings, and sometimes it's hard for me to do my workout, but that's just when the classes are, so I don't have a choice. So yeah, I don't even know what an elliptical is. That's how much I don't exercise. Is that like a standing up thing? Or is that like a bike thing? I'm sure it's some kind of this, right? But I don't know. I think the last time I was at a gym was probably 8 years ago, maybe more. And I just felt self-conscious all the time because I was so fat. And I would get on the freaking scale there every week that I went. And the weight would never go down. It was the most miserable thing. I have really bad PTSD with the gym, I think. I don't know that I'm ever going to be one of those fitness guru type people. I just don't desire to do that. The most muscle building exercises I do is a couple of times a week. I will use my bathtub to do some of these kind of things where I work in the backs of my arms, and then I will try and do as many push-ups as I can do, which I think the most push-ups I can do right now is 5. And I will try and do like 5 push-ups and then wait and then do a couple more, and that's about it. like, I don't even do like 2 sets of reps. I do like 10 of each thing, and that's it. Um, I do ballet, but that mostly works your legs. I don't really do a lot of arm strengthening stuff or even core strengthening stuff except for ballet exercises. I don't really do like crunches or sit ups or anything. I just don't have a desire for a hard body. I just want a smaller body. That's the truth right there. So I hope that helped. I do know that working out fasted with sodium is the best way to do it on keto. At least that's what I've gathered from other people. All right. Let's see. Thank you guys for subscribing to Lori Keto. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Hey, Nicole is here. Naquina one. She's a trucker, but she's stuck in Idaho because the roads are closed. So she gets to actually participate. Welcome, Nicole. I love you. All right. Hey, Jason's here. Viva J. If you guys haven't checked out Viva J's music, you should. He's really talented, and he's like one of the funniest guys I've ever met. Right, Jason? He's our Facebook group, and he keeps us rolling. He is hilarious. So go check out him. VIVAJAY. That's his channel, and he is a really great musician, and he deserves some support. Oh no. So Nicole said she had a lady ask if she's pregnant at church on Sunday. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's what happens when you lose. So that actually happened to me. Remember in Atlanta, someone at the airport. She asked me if I was pregnant, or she asked me when I was due because I would look like I was 9 months pregnant or something crazy. And I was like, I'm not pregnant. And then I went and looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, I can totally see why she thought I was pregnant because number one, when you've lost a lot of weight, when you eat, your stomach goes out. That goes along with our subject. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I thought that once you lost the weight, your stomach would just be flat. But no, when you eat, your stomach goes out. It's the weirdest thing. And so not only that, but I was also bloated and retaining water because I had been flying and eating weird random food and trying to find anything that was keto, and it was hard in Atlanta and Alabama. Oh my gosh, you guys that live in the South. Woo! It was hard to find any kind of food that I could eat. I don't know how you guys do it. And so I was really bloated, and I actually did look like eight months pregnant because the rest of me is so thin, and my stomach was like, "Wah." And I think that that's just what happens because, we lose a lot of weight up here. Or at least I have lost a lot of weight through here. I mean, right? I am just really, really nothing left. It's just bones up here, even in my back. You can see the muscles in my back when I contract them like this. You can see them. That's how thin I am up here. But down here, no, I still have this gut and butt and some thighs going on. And so, yeah, I definitely feel like I look more pregnant now than I actually did when I was ever pregnant because I was always so overweight that no one ever knew I was pregnant. So that sucked a lot, actually. In fact, if Dave hadn't had the vasectomy, I would seriously consider having another baby, even though I'm losing my mind with the 9 that I have, just because I would like to see what it would look like to actually be pregnant and have a baby belly and not have everything else. That's a silly reason to get pregnant at 44 years old. And thank goodness Dave had the vasectomy, so I can't be a crazy person. But I think about it because I think, dang it, now I could find out how cute I could be. Let's just not even go there. Now it's time for me. No more babies. It's hard, but no more babies. All right. Bittersweet. So your thyroid issues are being more resolved since doing keto? Is that what I'm understanding? And that the doctors are taking you seriously about keto? That's awesome. That's amazing. I know that it's harder to lose when you have thyroid issues and PCOS and all of those things. For some reason, your body just really hangs on to it. So if it's improving, that's amazing. That is amazing. Living the Good Life says, I just lost 30 pounds and I feel great in my mind. I still feel so big. I just filmed a video on my channel and saw myself and I was like, ugh. Yeah. I definitely did that too. I definitely did that too, especially at the beginning, even after losing 100 pounds because I was so big to start with. And if you go back to look at the beginning of my channel, I can't even watch those videos anymore because of how big I was. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've lost 100 pounds when I started this channel. And I look huge, huge still. So I was like 274, I think. Well, obviously, I lost 100 pounds, so I would have been about 274 when I started this channel. And when I see that, I looked really huge. But I will tell you that it will keep coming off, and you will eventually get to the point where you can stand to look at yourself in the camera. Actually, I really didn't. I thought I looked good back then. I was pretty happy with how I looked back then, even. It makes me laugh now because I don't know that I had any inkling of how I could really look because I've literally never looked like this, not even when I was little. Well, I was never little. In high school, I was bigger than this, way bigger. So even in high school, I didn't look as young and thin and pretty as I do now. And I'm 44, which is awesome. I'm like so grateful that I figured this out before I was too old to really enjoy it. Like if I had waited till I was, 80 and on my way out the door, it probably wouldn't have done me much good. I still have at least, 40, 50 years to go. Nice. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Oh, Karen Marie is here. Good to see you. Terry Jamerson, hello. Oh, Jason, Viva J says, I hear you about running marathons. My crazy cousin who ran the New York City Marathon wanted me to run one with him, and he was like, no. Woo! Running has never been my thing. I like that I can run now. Like I was saying, I like that I could run around the corner if I needed to, or, go really quickly to get somewhere if I want to get somewhere quickly and not have to feel like self-conscious about everything flapping around everywhere and like breathing heavy and all of that. Um, but I don't have a lot of desire to do it. I always see people that are like, I was a runner in my past life and I love running so much, and I just cannot even fathom liking running. That's so far removed from what my brain thinks. In fact, the first time I started losing weight, when I was doing the shake diet and whatever that I've talked about in the past, I didn't know it was ketosis that was helping me lose the weight. I was so into exercising. I went walking every day, and I was working out on the bike and at my home and stuff, and I thought I was being so health conscious and everything. But then I would have anxiety panic attacks because I was like, oh, but I don't want to be a fitness person. I don't want to be one of those people that has to exercise or that wants to exercise or that exercises a lot. And I finally had to tell myself, you don't have to be that person. You don't have to be that person. It's okay. It's okay. And then when I found keto and it worked without exercise, you guys, I'm like, it's the best thing ever. Like, I don't have to exercise if I don't want to. I still lose weight. It's insane. Absolutely insane. I never believed possible, but it still works. Still, and I'm only like, well, let's see, at 177, that puts me roughly 17 pounds from my goal. I mean, like, I'm so close and I'm still losing. So weird, weird, weird. I mean, I do exercise. Like I say, I do dance twice a week. That is exercise. I'm active with my kids. That is exercise. But when I'm saying exercise, I'm talking about like running 5 miles or 10 miles in a day or whatever, and doing the couch to 5K or working out with weights. None of that stuff is interesting to me at all. When I watch Keto in Canada and I'm just like, she's so doing so much exercise and she's trying to build this hard body and she's so disappointed because it's not working the way she wanted. The whole time I'm just thinking, ugh, I don't want to do that. Like, that is not, I don't care about hard bodies. I like fluffy bodies, just smaller ones. I don't mind being fluffy a little bit. I don't need to have abs. I'm good. My kids made me do baby shark ab workout the other day. That was in on hide and seek in the, what video was it? Oh, the Logan Paulers take over the vlog video. I did the baby shark ab thing and I was like, oh my gosh, how is this a kid video? Yeah. Even one of the girls next to me was like, Tamara, I do this every morning. And I'm like, you have abs. And she's like 11. It was funny. They were making fun of me. I had no desire to do that. I did it with them because they were doing it and they want me to do it with them. But I would never do it every day. Are you kidding me? No. It's just not me. And people on here keep telling me to do it. And I'm like, I just don't want to. And there's nothing wrong with that. I am happy with how I look. Why do I need to do that? I don't care. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. Oh, wow. So Viva J says having to use an open MRI and still feeling too big was what broke the camel's back and got me into making you take losing weight seriously. Wow. I can't even imagine. I've never had to have an MRI, but I would have had to. I was that big. Definitely, for sure. I've never had anything like that. I've never had surgery. You guys, I've been so blessed and so lucky that the high blood pressure when I had Jasper and then the retaining water after he was born is the most serious things that I've ever dealt with in my life. I've never had to have any kind of surgery except for on my little finger when I was 1 year old, because you see how it bends. I got slammed and almost cut off. I had to have it repaired when I was 1. And that was the only thing I've never had a C-section. I've never been put under. So like people are like, "Are you going to have skin removal surgery?" And my face is like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe." You know, I like the idea of going in and having skin removal surgery on my stomach and having all of that extra fat that is just not budging taken out by lipo. It sounds awesome. Like physically, I wouldn't mind doing that. Like I don't have any problem with plastic surgery at all. I think it's great to do what makes you feel awesome. But I am like so afraid of how it will feel after that I think I would be too chicken. I don't know. I'm going to give my body a while, probably at least a year from hitting my goal weight. So this summer I won't consider it at all. But next summer, who knows? Things change. You never know. But like I've never had surgery, so it scares the crap out of me. I'm like, do I really want to risk that over how I look? I don't know. And it's not really like bothering me. I'm not having any pain from my skin. I'm not having any weird rashes from my skin. My skin doesn't hang halfway down my legs. It's like, I don't know. I don't really have a series of issues as with the skin that make me feel like I need to do it for health purposes. It really would be cosmetic if I did it, and I would totally be doing it for how I look. And I'm not super vain. I mean, I like looking pretty, but I don't spend a lot of time making myself look amazing. I don't go to the salon very often. Like once a year, I get my hair cut in June. That's it. Let it grow out, cut it again in June. That's what I do. I don't have my brows microbladed, though I have considered it because it's a pain in the butt to draw these on all the time. The eyelashes, no way. Way too much time, way too much money. Oh, no. Rather just wear mascara. Having lip injections, have I considered that? Yeah, to get rid of some of these fine lines, maybe, but once again, it's just like, is it really worth it? No. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a problem with people who do that stuff. I never paint my nails. I don't go to the salon. Like, I don't get pedicures. I just don't ever do or think to do that kind of stuff. And so to me, it kind of goes along with that stuff. The cosmetic surgery. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know, like, if I would like how I look, because it wouldn't look like me anymore. I've been saggy baggy since I was 12, you know? I can't imagine. I think I wouldn't look like me. Plus, you can't get rid of all of it, and I'm still going to have thin skin, and I don't know. I worry that it'll be stretched too tight and it'll hurt. I'm more worried about it hurting. When I'm not in pain, I'm good. I'm like a big, what do you say? Big baby when it comes to pain. And I did have some of my kids naturally, some of them. How many? 1, 2, 2, 3. 3. My second was natural in a birthing center. My fourth was natural at home. And my fifth was natural in my backyard hot tub. And it was like the perfect birth. And I went, yeah, okay, did the perfect birth. It still sucks. Give me the epidural. And I went back to doing epidurals. I'm a wimp. What can I say? I tried it though, and I did it. I did accomplish it at 310 pounds. Be proud. Be proud. You should see the pictures of that. I don't know if I've ever showed the pictures of that anywhere that you guys could find, but I was big and I had a baby at home in a hot tub. We call her the mermaid for a reason. She was a mermaid born under the water. Okay, let's see. Yeah, buying smaller clothes is super fun. Um, I would suggest if you're on your weight loss journey and it's going to be a long term thing, um, I wait until I'm uncomfortable with the looseness of my clothes, where I feel like they make me look fatter because they're baggy, and then I go to um, Goodwill of some kind. I go to Savers here locally. There's also Deseret Industries here locally. And I go there and I literally just pile my cart with anything that I think might fit me and that might look good on me. And I spend hours and hours and I try everything on, and then I pick whatever I feel like looks pretty, and I don't spend a lot of money on it because, I can get like a whole new wardrobe for a little over $100 at a place like that, especially if I remember to get like a discount coupon for donating stuff. So yeah, if you guys are on your journey, that's the way to do it. Wait until you really can't stand what you're wearing anymore, and then go see what your new size is. And it's awesome. I bet you I could fit in some size 8s now. The way my 10s are fitting me, I feel like I could. I may be going on another shopping spree in the next little while. Possibly for spring stuff, because most of the things that I have in this size are, because I'm freezing to death, sweaters, layers, long sleeves, like all of the stuff I have is not going to work for the spring. And if you've watched some of my videos, you realize that I'm planning to take a diet break. And I don't mean I'm going back on carbs, because I will never do that. But what I am going to do is up my calories by upping my fat level. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a break for the next 3 months from losing weight. That's just because for my sanity, but also I like to kind of slow it down to see if that helps with the skin at this point. Because I'm so close to my goal, I figure I can like let it take a little time, and that's okay. So I hope you guys aren't disappointed on the weigh-ins, because they're going to be pretty pitiful next 3 months. But I also will be able to purchase a bunch of new clothes for spring, and they should fit me all the way to summer. So that's going to be good. That's going to be good. And I'm kind of excited about that. I haven't decided when I'm going to do it. I may hold out until the end of March, maybe beginning of April, before I go for that. I don't know. I can't decide because it's still so cold. It's freezing. I'm ornery about the cold. That's one of the things I forgot to mention. I'm freezing, you guys. Like, freezing all the time. And people are like, have you had your thyroid checked? Okay, it's not my thyroid. It is because I'm freezing. Because my body has no fat on the top. Like, I feel like the cold goes right through me and blows into my bones and burns. It is that awful. And this has been probably the most weather blustery winter we have had in years and years. So it's been sucky. It snowed like so much this winter. And I'm so done with it. I cannot believe that it's competition season. March is coming up this weekend. The kids' first competition. It's usually relatively warm by the first competition, to the point where I can like go out and take pictures of them outside and stuff. I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to do that this year, because it's stinking cold, and I'm always cold. When I take my temperature, I'm 96.1 when I'm in the house and the heat is on and I don't feel cold. So that's one thing I'm praying will regulate over time, is that my body will get used to its new size, and then it'll get used to like regulating itself. I don't know. I don't know if I can stay in Utah if it doesn't happen. I feel like I have like my joints ache and stuff, like I've eaten carbs and I haven't. So that's irritating. And I've never had joints aching and bones burning before. I'm a wimpy. I don't like pain. Emotional pain I can like deal, and I have like my ways to deal with, but physical pain, I am a big old wimp. I don't know what to do about it. I'm like, give me the drugs. Anyway. All right, let's see. So 60 more pounds, living the good life before you buy new clothes. All right. I don't know how big you are, Like I lost probably 80-ish, I think, before I really started shrinking sizes a lot. I wore my baggy clothes for a while. I was a size 4X, and my pants were all stretchy waist, and they were like 28s, but they were stretched full out. I think I was probably closer to a 32 if I'd bought like a pant that fit. And I wore those probably until the summer. So at least 6 months in, and I had lost probably about 70 pounds probably by then, I think. Because I lost 80 by the time August came around. I wish I could remember the timeline better now. Gosh, you forget after a while. You forget how long it took. But yeah, that's when I started buying, like, bought my new dress for the pictures was like in June. And but I shopped still on Amazon. I didn't dare to go to a store and like try clothes on until I got down to like a 22, and then I went to Walmart and I started buying clothes at Walmart, and then I started getting smart about Savers, realizing they had those sizes when I hit about a 20 or an 18, and I've been a Savers girl ever since. Now I love it. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff there, and I can fit into so much stuff. But the hardest part is like seeing stuff in the other sizes that won't fit you because it's too big, and it having being so pretty and knowing it would have fit you like a couple of sizes ago. Sad. That's hard. Keto Cricket says, my goal was to be the same size as my daughter, which I met last May. Woohoo! That's awesome. My daughter is super tiny. Well, I can't ever be her size because she's a dancer and she's super tiny. And I think she says she's like 15% body fat. So no, that ain't happening for me. Oh, Sasha says, when you get new glasses, you'll look like a new person. I agree. And I worry about that because when I get new glasses, are you guys going to recognize me? Like, I don't know. And I hate these glasses for a couple of reasons because they're always crooked. Do you see this crookedness? I have tried to fix this for the last 2 years. Like, I can't. They're all adjustable in here. These are super freaking expensive glasses. I paid $650 or something for these, or $630. It was a ridiculous amount of money. And they are really hard to adjust. Whereas I swear my cheapos from Zenni Optical never were crooked because you can't adjust them. They just sit. And all this time, so in June, it'll be 2 years since I got these. And all this time I've been like, I'm going to get some glasses from Zenni to have like different looks. And I haven't done it. I haven't done it. And now they're starting to get scratched up. And I have a 2-year warranty on these. So technically I could take them in and have them replaced right now. And they would replace the lenses. But I don't have any backup glasses to wear. So I can't do it. So I keep thinking, well, in June, am I going to go get a new pair of glasses? And if so, am I going to get something similar? Or what am I going to get? And like, will people recognize me? It is actually something I think about a lot because my glasses have become like kind of a symbol of me on this channel. And like, I coordinate my outfits and my makeup around my glasses. Like, I love them. And yes, they are a little big for my face now that my face is thinner. Everyone says that, but I actually don't mind the fact that they're big. I think they're cute still. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about the glasses, guys. Hopefully you'll still love me when I get different ones. But I probably have to get new ones this summer. Let's see. Was someone asking about sodium? I was probably talking about sodium. Yeah. Sodium has been a real bone to pick with me this week because on Facebook, I've had so many people saying they don't supplement their sodium and like telling other people on my Facebook that they don't need to worry about supplementing sodium, and I literally want to smack them upside the head. Hard. I have had to refrain from being mean, and I started going, don't be like that board that shall not be named. Don't be all delete posting and dictator and all that, but I'm like, guys, eat your sodium. I have it right here. Always. Guys, you need it. People are like, I don't like Soleil water. I don't take Soleil water. Well, then don't take Soleil water. But salting your food is not enough. And if you tell me that it's working for you and that's great for you, but it's not the norm for everyone. And I don't want you to tell other people not to do it because it's not safe for them. That's the long and short of it right there. In fact, that was almost going to be the subject of this video, but I decided to go for something more positive because I'm still too ornery about the sodium thing to talk about it nicely. That's how I feel about sodium. Take your sodium, guys. Do it. I love you. I want you to be healthy, and I want you to have great mental clarity, and I want you to not have headaches, and I don't want you to not have muscle cramps, and I want you to not die because low sodium can kill you. Thank you for the compliment on my teeth. I only have the top braces so far, and I have a gap now over here thanks to the braces. Now they've got some power chain thingy or something to squeeze it back up. I don't know. And I'm getting the bottom ones on. You can see how awful my bite is. Look how over. See that? That's the braces that did that. I'm all bucktooth belly. Drives me nuts. I cannot wait until I get the bottom ones on and it pulls the bottom ones out to a line, or maybe my face will not look weird. I don't know. It still looks weird to me. Like my lips are like all... I have to go to close my mouth. It drives me nuts. But, you guys, it's going to be awesome when they're off, right? It's going to be awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. Karen Marie says, a con for me, although I didn't know it then, is people are friendlier to me. Yup. Oh, yes, that's a good one. Men hold doors. Women are more likely to strike up a conversation. Sales clerks ask if they can help instead of ignoring me. Yes. They also take me more seriously when I say things. I have always been a very smart person, and I know a lot about a lot of stuff, but I noticed that people would not take me as seriously, and they kind of viewed me as dumb when I was overweight. Now that I'm thinner, they actually take me so seriously, and everyone's always asking me questions like I'm the guru. I am the same person that I was. I am not any smarter now than I was before. It blows my mind. People never wanted to listen to me talk when I was big. I always was holding myself back. Now I can talk about any subject. I can state my opinion and people actually listen. And it's the weirdest thing. But yeah, people are nicer. They are nicer. Cops, they don't give you a ticket. That's a bad one, but it is true. When I was fat, if I got pulled over, I was guaranteed getting a ticket. Now if I get pulled over, they're always like, ma'am, you were going a little fast. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I didn't see the thing, or I was thinking about something. Well, I'll just give you a warning. I'm not kidding you guys. It's ridiculous. This actually happened to me. Not this time losing weight, because I haven't gotten pulled over. But last time I lost weight, that happened to me. In the same spot, like practically by the same cops. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. That irritated me a little bit. I complained about that. But yeah, the way people treat you is extremely different. I talked about that way early on this channel. In fact, I have a video called The Invisibility Phenomenon. If you haven't seen that, it was actually the video where I talked about the first time I realized I was no longer invisible. Because because people did not see me. I did not exist. They would their view would brush right past me, and people wouldn't talk to me unless they had to. And I was still pretty big. I was like probably about 260 or something when I realized I crossed into threshold of visibility again and people started seeing me. It was crazy. Weird. But yeah, check that video out, you guys. If you haven't checked me talking about the invisibility phenomenon, search that on my keto channel. Just search Keto Chaos Invisibility and it should pop up. It is so true. It is so true. And now that I'm this thin, oh my gosh, it's dramatic. Even people I see on a weekly basis at dance talk to me more and are more apt to strike up a conversation. And what's funny is that I used to be the one who struck up the conversations when I was bigger because I like talking to people. And I don't talk as much now. I just sit back and other people come to me now. Weird. And I don't even think they realize they're doing it. It's just the subconscious thing. I don't think they realize they're doing it. It's crazy. Silver Stars, has anyone tried collagen for loose skin? I'm considering it, but it's super pricey. Yes, I did. It didn't do anything that I could see. The thing that I feel like has been the most beneficial to my hair, skin, and nails has been vitamin D3. And it's relatively inexpensive. Try that first for 3 months and see what happens. Loose skin is genetic, though. Like, there's only so much you can do. I feel like exfoliating is one of the best things to do for it. I exfoliate my full body at least twice a week. Once in the shower and once in the tub. So once in the shower, I just have like this long sheet. It's like a exfoliating cloth, but it's long and thin, and I can rub my whole back like this and everything. I do my whole entire body in the shower, and then I do my whole entire body on Fridays in the tub after I've soaked for a really long time, so that all of that old skin is really, really good and wet and soaked through. And then I really scrub the heck out of it. That one works. I feel like that one's the most beneficial. And it's super cheap. So exfoliating or dry brushing is the same kind of thing, though you do it a little differently and you do it before the shower. But you use a brush and you brush a certain direction and it's supposed to help with your lymphatic system and stuff like that. So yeah, I suggest dry brushing and vitamin D3. It can't hurt you to take collagen. It's good for hair, skin, and nails. And biotin is as well. I heard silica is as well, but I've never really tried silica. But D3 is cheaper, and I'd try that first for 3 months and see if there's any improvement. Definitely do pictures, though. I wish I had made myself take pictures of my loose skin so I could know for sure if it was changing. But I'm still super self-conscious about being in a bra and panties, mostly because my religion. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We wear garments, and so my garments cover this far on my arms, and also they cover my full belly, and they cover down to almost my knees, kind of like exercise shorts underneath my clothes. And so I don't really have bra and panties that I can just like I don't have a sports bra and panties to put on and like take pictures. I wish I had done that though, because I think I see improvements, but I'm not sure because I haven't taken pictures, and I'm still like so self-conscious about how I look that it's hard for me to take pictures of that. I really know I'm going to regret that, but I wish I had done that. So if you are starting D3 and you're going to do like D3 and exfoliating like I'm doing, take pictures before and after so you can see if it did anything. Especially with the collagen, if you're going to waste your money on it, or if you're going to use your money on it, take pictures to make sure it's working. That's what I recommend because I wish I had done that. Let's see. Yes, I talked about that. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So Living the Good Life says, my best friend had weight loss surgery about 8 months ago. I couldn't afford it, so I started keto. I have 30 more pounds to lose until I catch up to her. It's not a competition, but I did it without. Yeah, I am so grateful every second of the day that I didn't give in. Oh man, someone's calling me. Bye-bye. Usually don't get calls from anyone except for people that are trying to sell me stuff. Yeah, so people even ask me, like, they don't believe me that I haven't had surgery. And I'm like, I have totally not had surgery. Look at what I eat. That's proof. If I had had stomach surgery, I know because my mom had it, I wouldn't be able to eat the amount of food that I eat in a time. And I am definitely not cooking up all that food and not eating it. Hello, I eat every bite and then lick the plate. I could eat twice that. Are you kidding me? Oh, I could eat and eat and eat until I die. I'm a binge eater. Are you kidding? If I had weight loss surgery, it would never work for me. I would find a way around it. Okay, I see a super chat that I missed and I meant to go find. Sorry. They don't pop up at the top of my chat, only that it just notifies me at the top. Oh, Gloria, you didn't ask me anything. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you. Oh, she did say something. What did she say? Thanks for all your advice on protein and Soleil water. This year is my first time shopping regular size stores. I've learned how to shop now. I'm just so grateful. Oh, wait, no. I'm just so YouTube picking things that just fit. Oh, used to picking things that just fit. Yes. Yes. So many times I was just like praying it would go around my body, that it would cover up my body so that that it wasn't super tight and it didn't offend people. Oh, I do not miss that. I do not miss that. I love, 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 love being able to go to the store and choose items because of the way they make me feel, the way I feel like I looked pretty in them. And it's funny because I always thought when I got this thin that I would look good in everything, but I don't. I try things on and I'm like, oh, that's awful. No, that's a big hard no. Get rid of that. And sometimes I try things on and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I look so good in that. So I don't actually like to shop online. Like I used to always shop online because it was nobody had to see you and you didn't have to see yourself in the clothes in the mirror and be like, oh, that's so horrible. I'm never going to look good in anything because I didn't look good in anything. So yeah, it was just about, I hope it fits me. And I would buy things on Amazon. I haven't bought clothes on Amazon for a really long time. In fact, that white dress that was in my slideshow on Sunday, I bought that in October from Amazon, and I think that was the last clothing item I bought from online. And it didn't fit me when I bought it in October. It was for family pictures. I had to wear a squeezer underneath it, and I could only zip it up to about my ribs, I guess, and then it wouldn't go up. And so I had to wear a jean jacket. So on my hide and seek intro, you see me in the jean jacket. That's because the dress wouldn't zip all the way. If it did, it was squashing me so bad. My chest was too small and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And so the other day I was like, oh, hey, I bet that dress fits me now. Yep, perfectly. Oh my gosh. And it looks just as cute as I imagined it would look when I bought it. Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is fun to wear cute stuff and feel like I look cute than wear just things that cover me, that aren't going to offend. And the reason, so people have teased me about my maxi dresses, okay? The reason I wore maxi dresses was multiple fold. Number one, it's because I belong to Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and we're modest, and I would always feel like a knee-length dress would show my garments or be too short and it would be uncomfortable at church. And I'm wearing those dresses to church. I do my pictures on Sundays on the way to church. That's why I'm always wearing a long dress, because it's more modest. Though, if you notice, my last 3 dresses that I love the most, I look the cutest in, are knee length. And I have never worn knee length dresses and felt like I looked cute. I always felt like I looked fatter, like they cut me in half. And like when you could see my legs, I felt like that made me look chubby. And I don't feel like that anymore. I don't feel like pretty much any dress could make me look chubby at this point, because I don't feel like I look chubby. So that's awesome. Love that. All right, I'm going to go back up. Thank you so much again, Gloria, for the super chat. I appreciate it. We are 16 minutes over, so if you have a question you need, do a super chat, and I will try and see it before I got to leave. But I got to figure out where I was, because I was way up here still. Oh, my goodness. Where was I now? Oh, yeah, there. Okay. So, living the good life is excited about skin removal surgery. Oh, man, not me. Nice. Danae Goliath says, hearing a woman call themselves pretty is strangely wonderful. Wow. Yes. In fact, me and my daughter were talking about this just this Sunday, that women they feel like when they're assertive about themselves, they feel like they are taking away from other people. And that if they say that they are pretty or accept a compliment without self-deprecating, that they feel like that is egotistical and not nice to other women. And I absolutely disagree with that. And I think it sucks. You should be happy about how you look, and you should not be afraid to say so. I know I'm pretty. I've always been pretty. From the day I was born, I was beautiful. I have been blessed in that department. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Even when I was 374 pounds, even when I didn't feel like I was pretty, my husband always did. And he was always wonderful to me. And the only reason I didn't feel pretty at that weight was because I was literally suffocating to death. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't walk. I couldn't be taking care of myself. And so I felt ugly because I felt like a burden on my family. It's such a joy to be able to feel pretty again, and to feel like saying that I'm pretty is okay. And when people say, you look so great, you look so beautiful, to not be like, I know, but, I just bought this, blah, 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 and it could fit better. Or, yeah, I know, but, my braces make me look funny. Or, yeah, I know, but I really need a haircut. Or, I need new glasses. I don't know. There's a lot of things I could say, like, thanks for the compliment, but I don't feel good because I'm not as pretty as you. Don't feel like you have to go, oh, thank you. You're so much prettier than me. You don't have to do that. You can be assertive and be confident, and that's okay. And that's attractive. Now, being egotistical and being all, I am better than you. Look at the weight I have lost. You should go on keto. Stuff like that, obviously, is not attractive. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't even think that. That was my biggest mistake. I actually was like that the first time I lost weight. I walked around like, every time I saw a chubby person, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I don't look like that. I never want to look like that again. And I think that was part of my anxiety. And the Lord gave me a good smack because not only did I gain all of that weight back, but I gained an extra 40 pounds and got to the point where I could no longer walk. And I could have been on a show like the 600-pound woman based on how I felt. That was a good smack. The Lord was saying, be thou humble, child. Now, being humble, it just means you don't feel like you're better than other people. It doesn't mean that you don't appreciate your own gifts and talents. It doesn't mean you don't think, like, I am a good teacher and I am a good mom and I am a kind person. And, it's good to be proud of those things that you are, that make you beautiful and make you good. And as long as you're not walking around saying, well, I'm so much better than her because I worked so hard and I lost all this weight and she is lazy. No, I don't think that at all anymore. In fact, I really don't care what other people do. I want them to be successful if that's what they want, but I don't feel like if they aren't successful that that's bad. If they go off keto, I don't feel bad. Like I don't take that as a personal affront or I think badly of them. I have my best friend, like one of my really good friends, has been on keto for a while and she has had a hard time recently and has gone off. And I feel like she feels embarrassed about that and embarrassed to tell me and like I will judge her because I am thin. And she has admitted to me that she feels differently about me and she can't help it and she's sorry, but she feels like I'm more judgy because I'm thin, but I'm not. She just feels like I will be because I'm thin now. So gotta love that. But yeah, I'm not judgy this time around. I have all the empathy in the world because I have been there to the worst place and have got myself out without surgery. And my only goal is to help people who are in the same situation to free themselves. Love it. All right. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I don't miss anything super important. We kind of talked about that already. Okay. Sorry, you guys were talking to each other and I can't tell if it's questions or just talking to each other. Can't find gum or jello that has anything other than artificial sweeteners. No, I don't have any ideas. I mean, you could make your own with just gelatin, I guess, and eat just gelatin. You can make meat flavored jello with bone broth and gelatin. Salt. That actually sounds kind of good. Yummy. Jello bombs. It does sound like too much work. I love you, Jason. I would never do it either. Right? No, I'm not having any more kids. I think I answered that already. Tammy McKenzie says her libido is now lower from losing weight. Yeah, I can't for sure tell if mine's lower. I think it's about the same. Kindred Echo, you're not too late. You got been here for a while. Okay. Oh, Jason, that sucks. I'm not going to say what you said, but I feel sorry for you, man. Hang in there. Oh, thank you for saying my cheekbones look nice. I didn't even know I had cheekbones because I've always had the cute apple cheeks and nice round everything. But apparently, who knew? They're there. I just hope I don't lose this. Guys, see this little fat pad? I love this. I don't want that to go away. If that goes away, I will be done losing weight, no matter what my stomach looks like. I'll go get lipo first before I'll lose my cheekies. I love my cheekies. Okay. Ellipticals like stairs. Okay, I thought so. I wasn't sure. Oh, thank you for all the thumbs ups, you guys. We appreciate all of the support. Let's see. Do I plan the whole day with my macros or do I just track as I go? I track as I go. It's better to plan the whole day, of course, but I track as I go because I don't know how I'm going to feel, what I'm going to feel like eating. But all of my meals that I usually use are exactly half my macros. I eat the same breakfast every day for that reason, so I don't have to think about it and I can always just track it later because I know what the macros are on it. And all of my dinner choices that we have lined up in the freezer that So we have chicken breast, sirloin steak, New York steak, and various vegetables, pork loin, but I don't like pork that much. We have all of those meats, and then we have cheeses. I have provolone cheese, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, shredded cheese, and then if I feel like a fun cheese, sometimes I'll buy a fun cheese, like bread cheese or something like that. And I have those in the freezer all the time. I have my yogurt in the freezer all the time. We have our backyard chickens, and sometimes we buy eggs from Walmart. So we have eggs all the time. We buy our bacon in bulk. So I have bacon all the time. So I have my staple foods that I eat all the time, always available, frozen in sections that are reasonable to be thawed out and cooked that go with my macros. So my chicken breasts are frozen in 5 or 6 ounce portions. My sirloin steaks are frozen in 7 or 8 ounce portions. My New York steaks are frozen in 8 to 10 ounce portions, just because I like to eat. When I'm going to eat in New York, I'm going to eat in New York because yum. They're expensive and they're yummy, but those are just like special occasion steaks. I don't do a lot of ground beef, but I try and have some 85-15 or 90-10 in the freezer. I cannot stand 93-7. It makes me ill. I cannot take it. But I don't eat that as much because it's got too much fat and I don't get to add anything to it. I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's blah. And then Dave will ask me, because he's the one who makes the dinner. I'm lucky that way. I'm usually editing videos. He doesn't edit videos. So he asks me what I'm feeling like I want, and I will say one of my meals that he knows. And then he says, what's your macros? And that is when I go in, put my breakfast in, see if I messed anything up, add anything that I messed up on during the day and maybe like had a Quest bar or something dumb and it's not tracked the way it normally would. And then I adjust my nighttime macro dinner on that. So I do track before I put a bite in my mouth at night. But I don't always track my breakfast because I do pretty much the same thing every time. So I hope that helps. I'm more lazy about tracking too. And, it helps to track. I always make sure that I meet my macro by the end of the day. And sometimes that means a really weird and small dinner that makes me sad. So you got to be careful. All right. I've tried treadmill. Don't like it. I've tried a lot of things. I hate it. Maybe I'd like it now, but I don't have time now. I'm like so freaking busy. The only reason I do dance is because I'm at the dance studio already. Okay. Yeah, fat girl fed up had her skin removal because she had pain from it. I don't have pain. I got no motivation. No motivation. 10-pound baby. I had 10-pound baby. Well, my biggest was 9-10. That was my home birth, my first one, my first home birth. Yeah, it was pretty awful. He also came out like this. The whole thing came out at once. Ow. I didn't tear though, because I have really great skin, you guys, even when having babies. All right. I'm glad to hear that you guys are cold too. Not that I want you to be cold, but because then I don't feel like it's just me. Everyone likes to feel heard and like they're not the only person having some crazy weird thing, right? All right. Keto Rewind. Thank you for coming by, and I'm glad I was inspiring for you, and congrats on your 17-pound loss in 2 weeks. That's amazing. I can't get laser eye surgery. My eyes are too bad. I've already been checked out, and they said I don't qualify. The only eye surgery I could get is the contact lens implanting, and it's about $2,700 to $3,500 an eye, depending on the doctor. And I just worry because my eyes change so much that I will have to have it redone over and over. And I just cannot even bear the thought of doing it once, let alone, it's surgery. Ugh. And I'll tell you, I look older without my glasses because I have wrinkles that these glasses hide. Do you guys want to see them? You see that? Right along there. I can't see if you can see it because I can't actually see you. That's how blind I am. Can't see my face. But I look older. My wrinkles are more pronounced right there. And so I like to cover them up. Yeah. Plus Plus, glasses have now become my accessory. I feel like I look cuter with them and I look younger with them. And I don't know. I just like them. I just like them. All right. Okay. Trinity Carpenter, that's a good question. I noticed recently you posted on Facebook that meals must have 30 grams of protein. Is that the same even if you eat more than 2 meals a day? Yes. Anything less than 30 grams of protein is considered to be a snack, and I don't recommend snacking. And the reason why is because you want to make sure you've eaten enough, I think it's lysine, to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. And if you want to guarantee that you've got enough, you only need like 3 grams of lysine. So I guess if you looked up, is it lysine? I'm saying that wrong probably. Lysine? I think that's the right one. The protein that stimulates muscle protein synthesis, you only need like 3 grams of it, but it's kind of hard to find. So if you make sure you get 30 plus grams of protein in a meal, you're most likely to get enough lysine to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. If you don't and you don't stimulate it, you basically wasted your protein. Your body didn't use it. You want to make sure your body uses it to rebuild your muscle and keep your muscle building up. Also, you can stimulate it more than once, but you can only stimulate it every 3 to 4 hours because once it's stimulated, it has to come back down all the way to the bottom before you can stimulate it again. So the more often you eat, the less likely your protein is going to be used. It also can interrupt muscle protein synthesis if you have a snack in that time where it's trying to do its thing. So I do have a video on that. I posted it in that thread. I haven't talked about it a lot at the beginning of the year because that's kind of a, like, I kind of go by what the general group is doing. So in the beginning of the year, it's all about getting on keto, getting into ketosis, figuring out electrolytes. Once people have a handle on that, we're coming into March, people have a handle on it. If they weren't going to do it, they already moved on. And if they're still doing it, now they're looking to improve things. They're often starting to move into intermittent fasting, splitting into 2 meals instead of 3, and looking at ways to optimize their fat loss and optimize their muscle retention. And that's when muscle protein synthesis comes in. And that's why I mentioned it now, because I'm trying to teach these newbies to go to the next level. And I didn't want to scare them too much at the beginning. So I didn't really mention a lot about that, even though I have in the past. But on Facebook, where I'm kind of trying to go with the flow there. And I'm really trying to get people to get a handle on electrolytes, and they still aren't, and it's really frustrating. And I totally get why ketogenic dieters had a rule about deleting posts that were dumb, because sometimes I'm just like, this would be so much easier if I could just delete this whole thing. It's just causing people to go into a black hole of dumb that they shouldn't go into. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are way over time. I've got to go soon. I'm so sorry. I have so much things I have to get done before I have to leave. Let's see. Okay, I think I got that. That's where I was before. Welcome, Shelly Ryder 81. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Lloyd. I'm glad you're here. Lloyd Martin is here. Is the bush effect real, and when can I expect it? Yep, it is real. If you've been eating standard American diet and you've been eating a lot of carbs, you will have a whoosh effect the first week, very first week. So expect that. You will pee a lot. You will lose a lot of sodium. Your keto flu might hit you like a ton of bricks if you're not upping your sodium really quickly. If you were already on kind of a low carb, or you weren't a high carb eater to begin with, you may not have as big of a whoosh that first week. Then as you lose fat, your body does fill the fat cells with water to hold them open. I have actually felt them in my arms. I don't feel them as much now because I just don't have as much fat. But about 100 pounds in, it was scary, and I thought that I was having cancer all through my body because I thought all my lymph nodes were like cancerous or something, because I had all these hard lumps everywhere, all in my arms and in my belly and my legs. That was fat cells, but the tension, surface tension of the fat cell when it's full of water versus the surface tension when it's full of fat, it feels hard when it's full of water. It's so weird. So I always knew when a whoosh was getting closer when I was bigger. Now it doesn't do that as much. Because I would feel the little, I called them like frozen peas all over me. And then within a few days, whoosh, and then they would feel soft again. It was the weirdest thing. Now I have this weird phenomenon where I actually retain water for 2 weeks and then I drop it, and then you can see what actual fat I lost. And I can't know for sure how much fat I've actually lost that month until that last weigh-in right before it goes up again. because that's what it does now. But it didn't do that at the beginning. At the beginning, I had a whoosh every 4 weeks, but I held level and then I would drop. And then I held level and then I would drop. Now, as I'm closer to my goal, I go up, hold, drop. But yes, it's absolutely real. And I would say that my experience has been I've had a whoosh about every 4 weeks or so, every 3 to 4 weeks, a very good whoosh. And when I have a whoosh, my sodium levels drop drastically quickly. So if you're going along and not supplementing sodium and feeling good, you're probably not having whooshes. Because when I have a whoosh, it's like the sodium's out of me so fast. I'm like, feel like I've been hit by a ton of bricks. All of a sudden I start aching everywhere and I'm like feeling like headachy and cranky and I'm mad at people and stuff. And my husband knows immediately what's wrong with me. He always says, "What did you take your Sole water today? How much have you had? I think you need more." And I will take more and I brilliantly feel better in 10 minutes. No, it's the sodium. So keep in mind that if you start peeing a lot, you might want to raise your sodium for that time when you are having that whoosh. But yes, it is very real and it happens for me about once a month, give or take. Let's see. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. Oh no, you lost 4 chickens? Sad. None of mine, I didn't lose any this winter, which is really a blessing. And I have had hawks take mine in the past. This year so far, we've been pretty blessed. We have 21 chickens and they've made it all the way through one whole season. So let's hope. Let's see. Okay. All right, I guess that's it. My water whoosh, does it happen the week before my period starts or does it whoosh whenever with no relation to your cycle? I haven't been able to determine if it really goes along with my cycle or not. But yes, it is usually the week before my cycle. And it usually continues while I'm on my cycle. I'm the opposite of most people. They say they retain water right before their period. And to me, I'm the opposite. I usually retain my water right as I'm about to ovulate. And when I ovulate, that week after it holds. So I build up to ovulation. I can feel myself ovulating because I have really bad pain. So then I ovulate and then I hold for a week. And then the week before my period starts, it comes off me like last week, like gangbusters, 7-8 pounds in a week, like in days usually. Actually, it's usually in days. Just 3 days, 7 pounds, boom. Then the week after that, my week of my period, I kind of go down just a little bit. And I think that's just the last bit because I'm pretty sure I've already lost the fat during those times that I gained the water. I'm still losing fat. I know I am because it's happened so many times. And then the drastic drop is just that water coming back off. And so it could be in relation to my cycle. If my period comes early, it throws everything out of whack. And I hate that. And it does sometimes come early on keto. And I did notice that when I went, so I was eating Think Thin bars, which have a lot of maltitol in them, which I think was kicking me out of ketosis a lot in the fall. But I was trying to maintain, so I didn't really mind because I wasn't having really bad symptoms of going out of ketosis, and it was holding my weight kind of where I wanted to. I was only losing about 2 pounds every 4 weeks. But I must have been like throwing my body out of whack because then when I went back on my regular fat loss macros and was just eating these simple, clean foods again, my period came 5 days early that month. Again. And since starting keto, I hate to break it to you guys, but since starting keto, my cycle has shortened from 28 to 26 and sometimes less days, which is not awesome. But who knows? I mean, I've always been very regular, so it's kind of weird. I'm in fact supposed to start today, and so far nothing. And I'm just counting that as a blessing because anytime I go closer to 28 days, I get excited and happy. Because I feel like I'm constantly having, and because it does seem to correlate with my cycle, the longer it takes to get to my actual starting of my period, the better chance I have of having a good weigh-in. Because Sunday, I could hit the upward swing on Sunday because my cycle came today, and boom, there went my weigh-in for the week. I hate that. I want 2 good weigh-ins and 2 not so good weigh-ins so that it looks like a pattern to other people. Not for myself. I don't really care for me because I already saw the low weight the day before and knew it was water and I don't care. But other people who only saw the Sunday weight, you know what I mean? So there. So I'm glad it's holding off this time because I really want a good weigh-in this week. I need one because on Saturday I'm going back to eating higher fat and I'm going to take a break from losing weight and I'm going to try and hold in the 170s for 3 months. That's my goal. So we'll see how that goes. I hate doing that to you guys because then it messes up my videos and it gets really confusing because I eat a lot of keto cakes and make people feel jealous about my desserts that I'm eating because when I'm losing weight, I don't really do any desserts ever. I kind of just do food and it's boring and maybe sometimes it's not so fun, but it's what I got to do if I want to lose. And I try to avoid eating treats. Now, as I'm going to be going into this next 3 months, I'm going to be eating out a lot, like a lot of fast food. I'm going to be eating at Carl's Jr. and Arby's and getting salads places and things like that a lot. And that gets confusing to people. It's harder to track, as you guys well know. I am going to be doing bars again, but this time I actually went online and I searched for a better bar because the Think Thin bars have maltitol in them. And while their macros do look good and I don't really feel like they completely kick me out of ketosis and they taste really good and they're easy to find because they're at all the gas stations I go to, I feel like they were detrimental to me in my journey for weight loss. So I am actually going to buy... I bought one this morning. What did I even call it? Something thin. It wasn't Think Thin. It's a Julian Bakery, but not the paleo thin. Oh my gosh. I can't remember the name of it. Slim Thin? Might be Slim Thin. But it's their whey protein bar, the sweet cream whey protein bar. It's monk fruit sweetened. And the macros look pretty good on it. So I am going to try adding that in and taking them with me. So I'll just keep them like in the freezer and just take one with me when I know I would normally stop at the gas station. Because what I tend to do, I notice during my times of stress and dance competition season, is that when I go to the gas station, I always want to buy something. I just get itchy to eat something in the middle of the day, but I want it to be a meal, and so I want it to be 30 grams of protein. So I would always get a protein bar and some peanuts and cheese and have a little mini meal between my other 2 meals. And that's what I'll probably end up doing again. So I will end up just taking the bar with me, buying the peanuts and the cheese at the gas station, and having my little mini meal and feeling like I got what I was looking to have. I do more pork rinds when I'm doing it. What else do I add in? More heavy cream. I tend to use heavy cream in my Creo brew instead of half and half. So I try and raise my calories up to meet but not exceed what Chronometer says is my BMR, which right now is about, I think, 1850 calories. So I am going to try and track, though, this time. I didn't track before. I was doing lazy keto, and I think I got too high on the carbs. So that's my plan for the next 3 months. I know that gets confusing to you guys. I'm planning to call the videos meal ideas for maintenance, or keto maintenance, so that people know that it's not what I normally eat. And then, of course, every video, I will direct them to a playlist I'm going to put together of the best ones for weight loss. I think that's the best way to avoid confusion over the next 3 months, because I still want to make my What to Eat Wednesdays for you guys and let you know what I'm doing. Because some people like to watch my What to Eat Wednesday and then see how the weigh-in went, even though the two never have anything to do with each other, just so you know. What I ate that week never has anything to do with what's on the scale. The scale is its own thing. The scale does what it does. It lies half the time. It's so dumb. The scale is lame. When the scale agrees with me, I'm happy, but like I never trust the scale. Never, ever, ever. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, Rebel ice cream is probably the best keto ice cream that is out there. It has the lowest carbs, but it's also the highest fat. So it's awesome for what I'm about to do. And it's not so great when I'm losing weight. If you notice, I've only had it one time. Actually, you don't know, because I think that's in this week's video. Yeah, I had it on Sunday. That's in this week's video. Do I have like a thing? Oh, that's where my lip got split. Ow. If you weren't here earlier, I hit myself in the face this morning with my cell phone and gave myself a bloody lip. Because I'm awesome like that. I also slammed my face right here in the car door just 2 days ago. Full on in the car door. I can't believe I don't have a bruise. It's a miracle. All right, you guys. Oh my heck. I'm way late. I have to go. But I love you all so much, and I hope that you are doing awesome on your keto. If you have made it into March, we're almost to March. If you have made it this far, you guys are awesome. Like, you are fat adopted, you are fat burning machines, and you are going to make this happen. Those first 2 months are killer. And once you get past February, it is easy, you guys. The whole rest of the year is easy. Even holidays, because by the time you get there, you have all these keto treats planned out and you know how to stay keto during the holidays. I'm telling you, if you start in January and you make it to March, you're golden. Keep on going. Just keep consistent. Keep patient. Don't believe what the scale says unless it's good. And that's